Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video. My name is Alif, and in this video, I'll be showing you how to set up and create an effective LinkedIn profile that will attract more hiring managers and recruiters and make them think, damn, I gotta hire you. So stay tuned. What up, welcome to another video. Let's talk about LinkedIn. Now, if you're like, well, actually not like me because I'm the opposite, but if you're like most people, you'd rather spend most of your time on Facebook or Instagram, kind of scrolling through the gram, laying in bed, right? So when it comes to LinkedIn, most likely if you're watching this video, you're probably not on LinkedIn enough, or you don't know how to use LinkedIn, or you don't even know how to create a LinkedIn profile. I get these questions a lot, so I decided, hey, let's make a video about it. So this is what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna show you everything you need to know to basically set up a LinkedIn profile so that when anyone looks at your profile, they think, God damn, you are a pretty cool person and you have your life together. Well, at least I'll try to get you there. But before we get started, I need to tell you exactly why it's important to set up an effective LinkedIn profile. First, believe this or not, but basically employers are gonna stalk you on your professional presence on your LinkedIn and your social media and everything. And it's important to have an effective LinkedIn profile set up. Oh, wow. And it's important to have an effective LinkedIn profile set up so that when these employers or recruiters, they're going through your profile and they're stalking you, you want to give them a really good impression. You don't want them to think, oh my God, who is this guy? Random creep, but they don't have a profile picture, stranger. I don't want to hire them. Peace, bye. Let's go with this candidate. You do not want to do that, okay? And the other reason why you want to have a good LinkedIn profile set up is because, well, the LinkedIn algorithm, basically when you're on LinkedIn and you're commenting and posting and just being overall engaging on the platform, if you do not have a complete profile set up, then the algorithm will not be sharing your profile as much as like John, who completely has their profile set up. So the algorithm will basically prioritize you and sharing your stuff more if you have a complete LinkedIn profile set up. So keep that in mind. So this is how I'll walk you through a LinkedIn profile. So as you see in front of you, there is my beautiful, gorgeous LinkedIn profile. And what I'm gonna do is walk you through from the top to the bottom and tell you exactly what you need to do to make sure that this profile looks hella good. And yeah. So with that being said, let's jump into the first part. So before we can actually start editing our LinkedIn profile, let me ask you a serious question here, okay? Have you ever had a friend on Facebook or on Instagram where they kept making post after post after post after post, and it really annoyed the hell out of you, so much so that you decided to unfriend them or unfollow them? Have you ever had that situation before? Yes? I heard a yes. Okay, great. Well, keep this in mind. Unless you turn this specific setting off on your LinkedIn, whenever you're making an adjustment to your profile, it'll appear on the home feed and basically make you look like that person. So what I'll show you right now is a specific toggle that you should have turned off while you're editing your LinkedIn profile. What you want to do is go to this tab over here, click down there, and then click Settings and Privacy. Now, once you've clicked this, you want to click on this button right here, Visibility, and you want to scroll down, and then you want to toggle this button here as a no. As you can see, share job changes, education changes, and work anniversaries from profile. You want to toggle that no, because if you keep that as a yes, that means anytime you edit something of your profile, let's say you added a new job, or maybe you edited a new job, or maybe you added a featured section, whatever it is, all those little changes will be sent to the home feed, and you're gonna annoy all your connections, all your profs, all your coworkers and colleagues on LinkedIn, and you're gonna be labeled that person. So don't be labeled that person. Make sure you toggle this off. Next, what you want to do is click this tab right here, okay? Show recruiters you're open to work. And then you want to fill out the criteria that they're asking for. So tell us what kind of work you're open to. Oh, these kind of roles, and this location, and this date, and this type of job, full-time, remote, contract, And then once you have this portion here set up, you want to also click this tab over here. It's a toggle where you can decide who sees your job hunting status. Do you want to share it with recruiters only? Do you want to share it to all LinkedIn members? Whatever it is. Keep in mind, when you click this tab here, your profile picture will have a green open to work icon. Now, a lot of career coaches recommend that you don't have the open to work green little thing going on in your profile picture, but then there are some people that say yes, you should have it. So right now, when it comes to should you have this little green open to work thing photo frame going on, use your discretion. There's no yes or a clear no to have it. Keep in mind that employers don't hire you based on your availability. They hire you based off your qualifications and skill set. Meaning, just because an employer sees open to work does not necessarily mean that you're more of an attractive candidate. So keep that in mind. Awesome. So once you are done setting up all this stuff, now we can actually head into editing our LinkedIn profile. Now, the first thing we want to edit when it comes to our LinkedIn profile is actually not here. It's up here. So as you can see over here, I have a specific LinkedIn URL that's very tidy and neat. It says Alif-Huck. Most likely, if you're not on LinkedIn, then your profile will probably have a URL that has a bunch of numbers and letters, and it just looks overall messy. Now, it's important we change this URL so it looks neat, kind of like what I have over here, because the truth is, when we're sending our LinkedIn profile URLs to employers and hiring managers and recruiters, or even attaching it to our cover letters and resumes, we want to make sure we're giving them the right impression. So it's important we have a clean URL. Now, let me show you how to set up a clean URL. All you need to do is click over here, and then this page will load up. What you want to do here on the top right is personalize the URL in your profile. So in this case, I use my name, Alif-Huck. Now, some suggestions for you on what you should write here. You can follow my format, your first name dash last name. You can even do a dash your last name. You can maybe also do your complete full name without a dash. It's up to you how you want to go about it. The idea here is that you keep it nice, clean, and neat. Great, once we have that set up, now let's go into the actual profile. Now, keep in mind, all these suggestions that I'm going to be presenting to you in this video moving forward are ideal for you if you are either job hunting or you're trying to optimize your LinkedIn profile for your career and professional development. This is not the video for you if you're trying to optimize your LinkedIn profile in order to promote your business and get leads. That is a complete different strategy. So do keep that in mind. All right, so the first thing we want to talk about when it comes to our LinkedIn profile is the cover photo. Alif, what the heck do I include in my cover photo? Well, my friend, I come with you with answers and solutions. Basically, when it comes to your cover photo, if you have no idea what to include in there, I'd recommend you include things such as your hobbies, any extracurriculars you're part of, something you are passionate about. Maybe it's you, in this case, speaking, who knows, whatever it is. And the way you want to edit your cover photo is honestly just click over here, and then you can see that you can upload a photo and decide the cropping around the photo. Now, keep in mind when you're uploading a cover photo that your profile picture here on a desktop version will appear on the left. And whenever someone's looking at your LinkedIn profile on a phone, then the profile picture over here will be in the middle. So if you're including cover photo that has like words and text, this is something you definitely want to be a little mindful of. Now, let me show you examples of a couple of really cool cover photos. So as you can see, these are a couple of people that I've met on LinkedIn, and here's some examples of what they include in their cover photo. So as you can see on the top right, Aaron Cordova, he is a senior front-end engineer at Facebook. Wow, Aaron. And you can see on his cover photo that he has a bunch of code written up and Node and all this stuff, right? This is really good for his personal brand because it really brands him as a developer and, you know, whatever people like Aaron do, coding and stuff. Oh, you can see underneath him over here, this is my friend, I believe his name is Ed. I know a friend who I don't even know the name of, whatever. And he's really into art and very artsy type of things, and he included a cover photo of a painting that he's very passionate about and very familiar with. On top right, you can see this is one of my mentors. His name's Lukey, and in order to promote his business, he included a logo of his business. Now, maybe you're part of a student club organization that you're really passionate about. Maybe you want to include a cover photo with your student club's logo on it, whatever you feel fit. And on the bottom right, it's me. And you can see over here, I had a picture of me giving a presentation because I want to look pro and cool and stuff. So I thought, hey, why not, you know, just put a picture of me speaking and make me look cool. So hence why I chose that. Now, when it comes to editing and creating a cover photo for yourself, what you can use is a platform called canva.com. Canva is a very easy to use graphic design software that's completely free. I highly recommend it. But what you can do for yourself is just write over here, LinkedIn banner. And as you can see, LinkedIn banner pops up. You can click the LinkedIn banner. You can see some templates and examples of really cool LinkedIn banners that you can edit. And basically all you'd have to do is, let's say you like this one, you can click that one and then you can start and go ahead to edit this stuff. So as you can see, I can here change the text and, you know, all this great stuff. So use canva.com. It's a great resource. So with that being said, let's go into the profile picture of a LinkedIn profile. Now, a couple things you want to keep in mind, okay? This is not Instagram, so that picture of you with a cool selfie and you're like that is not what you want to include on your LinkedIn profile. Ooh. You want to make sure the picture is from your shoulder up, or whatever this part of your body is. This up, okay? And the background needs to be very clear and not very distracting from your beautiful, gorgeous face. So let me give you an example. As you can see over here, this is my brother's LinkedIn profile. Let me zoom up a little. And you can see it's just a very clear picture of his face and the background is blurred out and it's not too distracting. Now, if you're confused about, oh my gosh, I need to hire a professional photographer to create a LinkedIn profile picture, you are wrong. You don't need that. All you need to do is honestly pull up your phone, okay? And then ask your friend, your mom, your uncle, your dad, your brother, your sister to take a picture of you with the portrait mode on your phone, because the portrait mode will make it look really high def and it's really cool. So I'd recommend check it out, and most phones generally have this feature. But ask them to take a picture of you while you're standing in front of a very clear background, honestly something like this, and simply just stand in front of it, smile, look pretty, and have them take a couple of pictures of you with just a phone. You don't need to go all fancy. I was talking with my coworker yesterday, and she was like, I'm hiring a photographer to edit some LinkedIn profile pictures. I was like, why are you doing this? This is too much. Just take your phone and take a damn picture. Just keep in mind, you don't want to make it a selfie. Do not do a selfie. Now, you want to make sure you always include a profile picture, because if you include a profile picture, again, the algorithm loves you, and basically the profiles that have a profile picture will get 20 times more profile views than the ones that do not have a clear profile picture. Awesome. So before we move on, I need to teach you about this thing called LinkedIn Recruiter, because it's going to be very, very important when you're optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So basically, LinkedIn Recruiter is a tool that recruiters use to basically do a control F on LinkedIn and to find qualified candidates to fill for certain roles. For example, as you can see in the screenshot in front of you, this is an example of what they would see when they're using LinkedIn Recruiter. So, you know, as we see in the picture in front of us, specifically, this recruiter here is looking for an accountant in the San Francisco area, and they're telling LinkedIn Recruiter if their profile has these specific words, accountant, corporate reporting, cash flow analysis, then if their profile has those specific words, make sure you show them to me. And as you can see, profiles like Eric Wright and Janet Knightley, their profiles got caught by this LinkedIn Recruiter, and now the recruiter can see, oh, okay, let me reach out to Eric Wright and ask if they're open for a job. That's on a high level how LinkedIn Recruiter works. Now, you as a job hunter, what you need to prioritize is making sure that your profile has these words that the recruiter is including in LinkedIn Recruiter, and yeah, make sure your profile has these specific words so that you get caught by LinkedIn Recruiter and the recruiter is more likely to reach out to you. Now, here's the question, my friend. How do I find these keywords and what are these keywords? Well, it's very, very simple. Let's say hypothetically that you are applying to become a digital marketing specialist. What I want you to do is open up 3 job descriptions on Indeed, Monster, whatever platform that you use. So to walk you through an example of what I mean, as you can see in front of you, I have three job descriptions open in front of me. First one is a digital marketing specialist at this company, and another one, digital marketing specialist at this company. So I have three job descriptions open in front of me. What I want you to do to figure out what those keywords are is go through these points over here. Try to identify technical terms that keep appearing between each of these three job descriptions. Once you figured out what those keywords are, you want to make sure you're including them sprinkled throughout your LinkedIn profile. So what I mean by that is you want to include that in your headline, you want to include that in your About Me section, your experience section as well. So just keep that in mind for now. So let's talk about the LinkedIn headline. Okay, so this is going to be the most important thing when it comes to your LinkedIn profile. Couple things to keep in mind when it comes to your LinkedIn headline. Make sure you never ever use open to employment on your LinkedIn headline. You also want to make sure that your LinkedIn headline shows to whoever looking at your profile what you are an expert in. You know, if you have open to work, it doesn't show that you're an expert to anything. But if you have something like, you know, administrative assistant specialist or senior campaign manager for accounting firms or whatever, ideally your LinkedIn headline needs to convey what value you offer to the marketplace, while at the same time including keywords like I mentioned when I walked you through the ATS and LinkedIn Recruiter. So with that being said, how do you figure out what to write on your LinkedIn headline when you're in the job hunt and you don't necessarily have a job? What you want to do in that case is include in your LinkedIn headline names of position titles that are basically the titles that you're trying to go after when you're job hunting. So in this case, let's say my brother over here, let's say he's job hunting, okay? And he doesn't have this, and he wants to be a full stack developer. What does he write on his LinkedIn headline? Just write full stack developer. You know, if you're trying to become a human resource professional, what you might want to write down is, you know, payroll specialist or human resource coordinator. If you're trying to get into social media marketing, you might want to just write social media marketing specialist. But specifically, how do you figure out what type of headlines to include? Well, remember how we went through a bunch of job descriptions? You want to basically open up a number of job descriptions yet again and try to find out specific headlines or roles of titles that keep coming up. Once you figured that out, those are the headlines you want to include on your LinkedIn headline. Now, beyond just having the title of the role that you're trying to get into, you need to also convey more value on your LinkedIn headline. So let me walk you through a couple of examples of LinkedIn headlines that I took from an article on Career Sidekick. Here's an example number one. So as you can see over here, this is an example of a LinkedIn headline, B2B Inside Sales Rep. So exactly the title of the role that you're trying to get into. And in this case, this particular person generated $2.4 million of revenue, I guess, for their company in 2018. You can see over here, Digital Ads Manager, again, the title of the role that you're trying to get into, and then 5 years experience managing 7-figure ad budgets. So again, you're trying to show to the person who's looking at your LinkedIn profile that you are so good at your job and you have so much value that you have to hire me. So what I'll do is I'll link you to this exact blog that you see in front of you down in the description of this video. So be sure to check this blog out because I use it to this day, and honestly, like, this is the stuff I share with a lot of my students. So make sure you check this blog out. Great, now that we have our LinkedIn headline all set up and ready to go, the next thing we want to talk about is your About Me section. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Alif, I suck at writing about myself and selling myself, and I don't know where to start. I feel like I'm going to be looking at a complete blank page and I don't know what to do and I feel overwhelmed. Well, let me tell you something real quick, okay? I have a template that you can steal. So as you can see in front of you, this is an About Me section template, which I'll be sharing with you down in the description of this video. So be sure to check it out. But let me walk you through this template and to give you an idea of how to write a really good About Me section. So when you're going about writing your About Me section, there's certain things you want to include in your About Me section. Again, keep in mind, what I'm showing you right now is ideal if you're looking for a job or for your general professional development and overall presence online. This is not a template you want to use if you're trying to use LinkedIn as a business tool to generate leads for your business. Keep that in mind. So you want to include, who you are and what unique skills you have, some key accomplishments, other extracurriculars or volunteer work or side hustles that you're into, what you're looking for and the specific roles that you're trying to get into. And you also want to include how to get in touch with you. So let me walk you through an example about me section. Now what you see in front of you are some slides of a LinkedIn workshop that I held, but I wrote down an example about me section. I'll walk you through it so that you have some ideas on how to write yours. So in this case, I'm trying to get a role in content marketing, okay? So this is how I'm gonna write my LinkedIn about me section. Content marketing strategist with 2 years of experience working with SEO, blog writing, social media content, and maintaining content calendar. Notice how right away in the About Me section, we're including tangibles, so SEO, blog writing, social media content. Remember how before I told you that you need to include certain words on your LinkedIn profile so the LinkedIn recruiter catches it? This is exactly why we're writing SEO, blog writing, social media. So make sure to include technical key terms. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to give me a quick thumbs up. It'll help me in the algorithm out. And if I give you value, that's all I ask. Just give me a quick thumbs up down below and subscribe for more videos like these. The next part is the key accomplishments section. So in this case, some of my most recent notable accomplishments include, and then in bullet points, increasing Company Inc.'s Instagram following by 30% using the latest Instagram growth strategies, driving 150% more traffic to our cheesecake client website through the use of organic blogging and SEO. The next thing you want to mention is your extracurriculars. So beyond my working life, I also take the time out of my day to volunteer for an animal shelter where I manage all their social media content. So a couple things here. Notice how we're still in the realm of the social media content marketing and things of that nature. We're still in that realm while at the same time showing them, a different side to us. So animal shelter, this volunteering is what I do. I don't do that, but that's just an example. Next is what you're looking for. So I get excited for opportunities where I can help increase an organization's brand awareness through the use of organic search, whether that be blogging or social media. What you're basically describing here is the function of the role that you're trying to get into and the role it plays within the company. In this case, a content marketing specialist, their role is to get more brand awareness through writing content. And that's what we're writing here. So if you're trying to get into, accounting, what you might want to say is something along the lines of, I get excited for opportunities where I can help streamline a company's financial infrastructure to ensure the organization runs in a more effective and smooth manner. After that, you want to write down how to get in touch with you. So in this case, I wrote, I'm an open person who loves meeting new people. If you'd like to connect with me, feel free to shoot me an email at janemary@hotmail.com. Who uses Hotmail anymore? So that's basically how you want to write down your About Me section. Again, you will have access to this exact template that you see in front of you, so keep that in mind. So let's go back to our LinkedIn profile for a second and click this tab right over here. As you can see over here, there's a section called Featured Section. And a Featured Section is basically this little bump you have in front of you. And what you can do on the Featured Section is include links or articles or websites or whatever that showcase to whoever's looking at your profile some of your best work. So in this case, my friend Yasser, he includes links to his YouTube videos, some PDFs, and some interviews that he did with myself. Now for you, you can include links to maybe a design portfolio that you've been working on, or maybe a screenshot of a certificate that you achieved, or maybe it's a picture of you and your team because you guys raised $1 million in fundraising for UNICEF. Whatever it is, ideally in your featured section, you want to include pieces of work that will make people think you're awesome. Yeah, so make sure you include that. Next, I want to talk to you about how to write your experience section. So as you can see in front of you, this is an example of an experience section I have on my profile. Now, when it comes to your experience section and what to write, you can generally copy and paste from your resume and paste it into your experience section, but I do recommend you include one extra thing. And as you can see here, this is the one extra thing. So ideally, you want to describe the company and what they do. Then you want to include a section here that says key responsibilities and and accomplishments include, and then you paste your resume stuff. So ideally, when you are writing your experience section, you want to include it in this type of format. So keep that in mind. Now on your LinkedIn profile, when you click the down tab over here, you can add these things called skills. And let me scroll down here on my LinkedIn profile for a second, but you can see that I have a section here for skills and endorsements, and I have specific skills over here. And you can see that there's 41 people endorse me for public speaking, which I like to think I'm decently good at. And job seeking, 28 people endorse me for that, right? But also there's some other skill sets as well. I include hip hop dancing, interpersonal skills, team leadership, project management, event planning, all these great things. Now, what you want to do on your LinkedIn profile is go on this tab right over here and add a section for skills, and then add whatever relevant skills are needed for the role that you're trying to get into over here. So if you're trying to get into sales, it's important to include skills like, relationship building, right? And once you add these skills, it'll appear on your LinkedIn profile. But the thing is, now that you have your skills on your LinkedIn profile, it's important that you get endorsed for them. Basically, keep in mind when the recruiters are using LinkedIn Recruiter, the stuff you have in your skills section will also be picked up by LinkedIn Recruiter. And that's why it's important to have a really good skills section. So what I recommend you do in order to get more endorsements for your skills is literally send a message to your WhatsApp group full of your friends and say, hey guys, can you endorse me on LinkedIn for this skill, and I'll endorse you back. And from my experience, what I've noticed is a lot of people are willing to do that because everyone knows they need to get endorsements on their LinkedIn profile. It's something they have to do. So whenever someone brings it up, in this case you, they'd be like, oh yes, I need to do that. Let me help you. I'll help you. And that's how you get endorsements for the skill. So just ask your friends, managers, or whoever, right? And underneath over here, you can see there's a recommendation section. Now, what I recommend you do when it comes to your recommendation section is basically reach out to your previous managers or coworkers or maybe clients you've worked with in the past and ask them for a brief recommendation on your LinkedIn profile. All they have to do is, click the more section and write recommend. What you can do for yourself is, let's say I'm trying to get a recommendation from my brother over here. What I would do is request a recommendation, and what this does is it sends them, I believe, a message that says, hey, can you recommend me and everything. The way I recommend you go about recommendations is that you first provide them a recommendation. In this case, maybe you're trying to reach out to a manager, write them a recommendation, and then message them and say, hey, by the way, I remember we worked together. It was a really good time. I wrote you a recommendation. When you have a minute, do you mind writing me a recommendation as well? And then, just give and you'll get, and then slowly you'll start building your recommendation section. And there you have it, how to set up an effective LinkedIn profile that'll make you look so employable that employers and recruiters will never be able to resist your qualifications and achievements. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up. And of course, feel free to, since we're talking about LinkedIn, add me or follow me or connect with me on LinkedIn right over here. In any case, I will see you in the next video. Peace out, my friend. Peace out.